Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. If you're new to this channel, I review, talk about movies of all genres, all decades, current to all the way to the silent era. I do unboxings. I have actor, director profiles, spotlights, and everything like that. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, subscribe today. Hit the bell so you're notified when I release a new episode. And today I'm going to do something really cool. I'm going to spotlight one of my most favorite actors of all time. It's kind of hard to not be a kid of the 80s or a kid of the 70s and not be a fan of Charles Bronson. That's right. I'm gonna talk about the Bronson man, the Charles Bronson, the man, the myth, the legend. I'm gonna show off some movies that I have of him. A couple of these are new, just a few of them, but the rest of them I've had for years, and I've pulled them out. I'm trying to remember every one that I have. So I'm gonna try to show you all these Charles Bronson videos that I have. So it might be 2 episodes, we'll see. So let's get right into it. One of the most famous episode or movies that Charles Bronson was ever in was The Great Escape. And this is the Criterion Collection Blu-ray edition of The Great Escape. I think it came out in 2019, 2020. I think it was 2019 when it came out. It was pre-pandemic. This is a great edition. It's just one of those movies that you just can't even rate. You can't even put it on a list of top 10 favorites. It's just one of those that it's just a class. I mean, it is a true bona fide classic where it's just it is what it is, and you can't even rate it. It's so good. The Great Escape is one of those movies. Now this is a great edition. The Criterion Collection put out The Great Escape way back in, I believe it was 1989, 90, somewhere in there, on Laserdisc. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that's right, 1991, and John Sturgis did a really good audio commentary on that Laserdisc, and it's presented here as part of 2 audio commentary. The other one is from Elmer Bernstein and a couple more with some of the actors involved in the movie on a second one. So it's a great collection of stuff, or a great movie that you need to add to your collection if you don't already have it. Even if you have multiple copies of this movie, I mean, it's just great. I mean, check out the artwork. It's beautiful. So check that out. And like I just said, I have multiple copies of it. This is my other Blu-ray copy of it, Great Escape. So yeah, there you go. Next up, another one of those classic movies where if it's on TV, you just start watching it automatically. It doesn't matter if it's got 20 minutes left, you just start watching it. That movie would be The Dirty Dozen. I covered this movie, or actually I didn't really talk about it much when I did a salute to Robert Aldrich, the director. I did a two episode spotlight on him last year. I kind of skipped over this because everybody knows The Dirty Dozen. I mean, it's just one of those bona fide movies that's influenced everybody from Quentin Tarantino and beyond. So this is something you have to add to your collection. 1967, Charles Bronson. I mean, what a cast. Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, Charles Bronson, Jim Brown, John Cassavetes, Richard Jekyll, George Kennedy, Trini Lopez, Ralph Meeker, Robert Ryan, Telly Savalas, Clint Walker, and Robert Webber. I mean, what the... Plus, it's directed by one of my favorite directors, Robert Aldrich. So add that to your collection. The Dirty Dozen. Of course, I have it on Laserdisc, but I'm not going to show it to you. Okay, here was a movie that was new. This was a movie I got recently that I haven't seen before. There's a couple in here that I haven't seen, and I got those recently. And this is one of them. Someone Behind the Door, which is a really odd movie. It's from like, I think 1969 or 71. Has Anthony Perkins. It has his wife Jill Ireland in it, which she teamed up in about, I think, 12 movies or something with him, something like that. Anyways, Charles Bronson plays an amnesia victim, and Anthony Perkins is this like kind of sadistic doctor who's trying to use him in a plot to kill the brother of his wife or fiance or some kind of weird plot. Anthony Perkins is just twisted all to hell in this movie. This is definitely a movie to check out. This is the Lionsgate edition. I believe it's on Blu-ray now from Kino. Would definitely check that out. Someone Behind the Door. Next up, this is a movie from '77. This is called Telephone. So it's a movie. Charles Bronson is a like a KGB agent who's kind of semi-retired. And he's sent on a mission to come to America to take out this rogue KGB officer who's using these codes by telephone to let me just back it up just a minute. Okay, some of these soldiers, Russian soldiers, were trained like with mind control. So once they say a few phrases to them, they automatically do a certain kind of mission that they've been sort of hypnotized or programmed to do. So these agents went to America and started new lives as Americans. They have the English down, they're business owners, they're this, they're that. And Donald Pleasance, who you may know from Halloween and movies like that, plays this rogue KGB officer who comes to America, starts telephoning people. They hear it on the telephone, and they immediately go get like this bomb that they've been waiting to use for all these years. And they take the bomb and they plant it in like some ordnance places, some like military branches, bases, secret places, some certain places like ammo dumps and stuff like that, and they start blowing stuff up. So Jill Ireland, who's his real life wife, is a CIA agent. So the CIA puts her with him, and of course they start kind of falling in love. And I won't give away. There's a couple things at the end I don't want to give away, but Telephone, really good, late 70s Cold War kind of thriller. Here's a movie from 1988. This is called The Messenger of Death. I thought this was a really cool late era Charles Bronson. Of course, this is one of the many movies that he paired up with director J. Lee Thompson and made a bunch of movies. It's really cool. It's kind of like it takes place in like an Amish type setting. Like these, well, they're not quite Amish, but they're like a religious cult, or not a cult. They're a sect, I guess, and it takes place in Utah or something like that. Charles Bronson plays a news reporter who kind of gets in too deep with some stuff that's going on. So I don't want to give it away. It's a solid mystery. It's pretty cool. It's fast paced, and I thought it was really good. Messenger of Death. This was another new movie I picked up recently. This is the DVD of the Kino release of From Noon Till 3. This is a really cool kind of a semi-comic Western bank robbery gone wrong type of movie. It also has Jill Ireland in it, which they really have a really cool relationship in it. And I don't want to give too much away from it, but this is one of the few lighthearted it's semi lighthearted. I don't want to. I mean, I think it's good. I'm not saying it's all, you know, lovey-dovey type of movie or anything, but really good. Check it out from noon till 3. I think you will enjoy it. So these are in no way in any order. So one of his semi-iconic, legendary roles that you see pictures of, film clips of, everything that's remembered of Charles Bronson always kind of comes back to this movie, Once Upon a Time in the West, Sergio Leone's classic spaghetti western, where he plays harmonica, where he's the guy that does that haunting theme of Ennio Morricone's theme of the harmonica. And really good movie. What can I say? It's not even really good. This is another movie that you just can't even place it on a list. I mean, it is just a must-have, must-be, you know, favorite movies of all time. Once Upon a Time in the West. If you have not seen this movie, you must immediately see it. Just stop watching this video and leave. Find this movie right now. Next up, this is a 3-pack Western DVD set. It has one movie that's a Charles Bronson one on here, and that's the one I'm focusing on. Chaltos Land, where he plays an Indian. This is directed by Michael Winner, who he teamed up with doing the what do you call it? I can't even think of it. I don't even have it in here, but we all know about, what is it, Death? Can't think of it. I'll put it down here. But anyways, Chaltos Land, directed by Michael Winner, a great early 70s kind of Western movie. It's got Jack Palance in it. The other 2 movies on here, Escort West with Victor Mature and The Way West with Robert Mitchum, Kirk Douglas, and Richard Widmark. For your watching pleasure. Gosh, that's going to eat me up. I can't think of that movie. Let me see. I have it over here. Can't believe I didn't add this, guys. Death Wish. God, I'm such a knucklehead sometimes. But yeah, one of his most iconic roles too, Death Wish. This is the DVD copy, of course. I believe it's on Blu-ray, I believe. I wish they would maybe come out with maybe an Arrow set and put all the Death Wish out with a lot of extras and remastered picture and stuff. I think that would be really cool. But man, Death Wish is just one of those iconic 70s crime, just action-packed movies that, you know, we could talk about for hours. Here's another iconic movie with Charles Bronson in it. I mean, I hope people can still remember Charles Bronson and stuff and check out his movies these days, because he did so many good movies. And he did a lot of he did some standard movies too. I mean, you know, but he did a lot of classic movies to where he could just go off and retire, because he's a legend, man, you know. One of those movies, one of the first ones that really got him out there is The Magnificent Seven, which is another teaming with Steve McQueen and Eli Wallach and Yul Brynner, amongst others, and directed by John Sturges. This would take place a couple years before The Great Escape, so they worked together on that. So The Magnificent Seven is basically a retelling of The Seven Samurai, the Akira Kurosawa movie from Japan, 1954. It's kind of a retelling of it, which it's done with beautiful picture, beautiful score by what's his name, Elmer Bernstein. Great movie, The Magnificent Seven. You gotta, again, that's another movie that you just gotta get out there and see it if you haven't already. Here's a movie from the 50s. This is this is when he first had his name on screen as Charles Bronson, because previously he used his real name, which was Charles, I think, Broinski or something like that. It's a Polish name. This is the first time that his name, Charles Bronson, would appear on the screen. in a movie called Drumbeat. It's an Alan Ladd, Warner Brothers Western from the 50s. I think it came out in 54. And it's written and directed by Delmer Daves. He's no slouch when it comes to writing and directing. So this is one of the odd movies. He plays an Indian chief, and I think he really holds your attention when he's on screen. So maybe check that out as one of the odds and ends of your Charles Bronson collection. So Drumbeat. Next up, I have a really cool movie. He did some movies in Europe between, I don't know, maybe 66 to the early part of the 70s. He did a lot of movies that kind of took place in Europe, and he did some really good classics. He worked with a lot of European directors, and this is one of them. This was a really good movie, Ryder on the Rain. This is the Kino DVD. It has 2 different artworks that you can display. It's got the US cut and it's got the European cut, or the French cut. It's a 4-minute difference, but this plays Charles Bronson plays a guy that kind of comes into the life of this woman, this newlywed woman, or she's about to get married, and he enters her life and kind of stays there and torments her, really. And I don't want to give away any of the storyline because it will totally take away from the whole tension of the movie and everything. But Ryder on the Rain, if you got to write that down, write it down real quick. Another really good, very, very interesting movie of Charles Bronson's European period. Next up, here is a 4-pack collection of some movies of Charles Bronson. I think I may have showed this in a past episode, maybe a year or more ago, but let's bring them back out again. This is from Mill Creek. This is a Charles Bronson 4-movie collection. It's got the Valachi Papers, The Stone Killer, Breakout, and Hard Times all on here. And they're all Blu-rays, and it's a little dusty, so I haven't watched it in a while, but really good, pretty good transfers. There's 2 movies on each disc, on 2 discs, so it's a very economical way to start your Charles Bronson collection. So there you go. Next up, we have another one of the movies he did in Europe. This one taking place in 1968, and this time he's teamed up with the actor, what's his name, Alain Delon, which you may know him from The Samurai. He worked with what's his name? He worked with Melville, the French director Melville. But yeah, this is a good movie. This is called Farewell Friend. It's directed by Jean Herman, and it's kind of a movie where Alain Delon is a doctor and Charles Bronson is kind of a thief, I believe. They're both trying to break into this safe and get this money out, and they're basically trapped in a room, in kind of a hallway kind of situation, in a room, and they're trying to get this money, and they're locked in this place all night long. So they're kind of dealing with themselves, like, are they gonna backstab each other and take the money? Are they gonna, what they're gonna do? There's a lot of tension, a lot of really cool directed scenes and stuff. It's a really cool movie. Farewell Friend. I'm not even going to try to go into explaining this movie to a T. I want you to go out and see it. It's really good. This is a Kino release. Well, I think I can get through all of these. I know I'm missing a couple more. I've got to have a little bit more Charles Bronson than this, but I think this is a pretty good amount. Next up, this is a movie I got, I think, last year. I wish a really good edition of this would come out on Blu-ray, maybe by Arrow or something. Death Hunt, where he teams up again with Lee Marvin, and It says they're a saga of two rivals who clash as enemies and triumph as heroes. So it takes place up in the mountains. It's a snow picture. Snow pictures are really interesting sometimes because it was hard on the actors sloshing through the snow and the ice and stuff. So it's really cool to see one that comes out really good, because it was like, how dangerous was that? How annoying was the snow and everything, you know what I mean? But it's a great showdown movie, Death Hunt. It's got a couple scenes with a dog. The dog doesn't get killed, but there's a guy who hates his dog. There's a German Shepherd. So anybody that's maybe, really, like my wife, my wife's really starts to cry, or, just doesn't want to see cruelty. It's not really cruelty, but he's kind of mean. This other guy's mean to the dog. So just beware of that in it. I will give that away. But yeah, great movie. It doesn't bother me. I know it's part of the movie. But yeah, Death Hunt. Excuse me. And I hope this movie comes out on Arrow or something. Would really look good. Excuse me. Next up, we have a 3-pack from MGM-UA. These are some of these economical packs that you could find very easily back in the heyday of DVD in the mid 2010s and stuff like that you could find these very common in stores, but they're actually going up into price now because some of these movies are hard to get. They go out of print and stuff so quickly. But this is a pack that has Death Wish 3, The Mechanic, and Mr. Majestic, which are... The Mechanic and Mr. Majestic are probably two of my top Charles Bronson movies, outside of the King movies of The Great Escape and Dirty, The Dirty Dozen. Some of those are really favorite movies to watch of him, especially The Mechanic with Jan Michael Vincent in there, Mr. Airwolf himself. Really, really cool role. Death Wish 3, pretty good. I think I need Death Wish 2. And I think I need Death Wish 4, but there's a 3-pack. I think you can find this pretty easily on eBay. And we're coming up towards the end, guys, so hang on to your socks. We're almost through this. Charles Bronson. This is another movie famously made. J. Lee Thompson. Man, this came out in 1983. Gosh, this is one of the made for Canon when he did him and J. Lee Thompson was working for the Canon Group, turning out some really fast movies. And this is one of them. This is 10 to Midnight. This is one of his really fan favorite movies of his, where he's like a great cop. I don't know if he's a chief or anything, but he ends up having to really protect his daughter from this just insane serial killer guy. And the serial killer is well played. I'm trying to think what his name. I think it's Gene Davis. Also, Andrew Stevens is in this, which any kid from the 80s will recognize Andrew Stevens' face because he was in all kinds of TV and movies and everything. Plays this young partner, and it's a great movie. It's really tense. It has a great ending. 10 to Midnight, and I think it's on. It's got some great Blu-ray editions of it that I might want to upgrade to one day. But there you go. This is the old MGM DVD, 10 to Midnight. And finally, guys, this is a movie. I think this is all I have. I think I may be forgetting a couple movies. If I have, I don't know. Forgive me, guys. This is a movie that was released on Kino Lorber, I think a few years ago, but I got the DVD edition of it. Code Sweat. This is a really cool movie. It's got Jill Ireland again, and it's got James Mason playing this just evil ex-con. Just, there's like torture. It's got Liv Ullmann, who, you know, turned up in a lot of Ingmar Bergman movies, a Swedish actress. I think she plays his wife, but yeah, Jill Ireland plays like a young, like teeny bopper type of woman, like a young, early 20s, kind of just hanging on James Mason. But yeah, Charles Bronson, man, that's a great shot of him with the shotgun. Just a great kick-ass movie. I mean, that's what his name should be, Charles Kick-Ass Bronson. And yeah, directed by Terrence Young. When was this? 1970. So this was part of some of the ones he did over in Europe. He was working with French directors, English directors. He was doing his thing over there. And then, you know, he came back to the States and he was getting a lot of work because, you know, he was like a big star by the early 70s, you know. And so yeah, Cold Sweat. I came across this in the last year also. I wasn't aware of it, and I saw this really great edition by Kino. So there you go, Cold Sweat. There you go, Charles Bronson, guys. I mean, he's just kick butt. He's a kick butt guy. I love him. One of the top action stars of all time. I'm 45, grew up in the 80s where you had action stars and, you know, and stuff now. I mean, who do we have now? Jason Statham and a couple of guys, you know, but ones that really just said, hey, I'm Lee Marvin, I'm Charles Bronson, Clint Eastwood, you know, the ones that were just larger than life, you know. So yeah, hope you like this episode, guys. I won't keep rattling on. But I hope you like this episode. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Hit the bell to be notified. Let me know in the comments what's one of your favorite Charles Bronson movies. Let me know. You can just type the name. I'd love to hear from you guys about what's on your mind. I know 101 Bronson out there. He's a big fan of Charles Bronson, obviously. Also, and I'm sure you got some favorites too, and you're still building your Charles Bronson collection too, like me. So there's still some more out there to get, and I guess that's it, guys. Until next time, take it easy, watch great movies, go watch some Charles Bronson, look him up, find his movies, take a chance on a couple of them. I recently gave one to my friend. One of my friends, David. Hopefully he'll check that out. And spread the word. Charles Bronson, kick ass. So until next time, guys, I am Mike. Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection is over, and I will see you later.